We are starting our presentation by the title of Is Genetically Modified Food Safe? And we are Javokhir Kamoliddinov, Semran Mardonov, and Mirzobek Xodjikurbonov.
Hello everyone, and welcome to our podcast presentation. Today we are exploring the question, is genetically modified food safe? This is widely discussed and often controversial topic in media, science, and public opinion. Our goal is to critically evaluate the information out there, analyze media coverage, and determine what the facts actually say. In this presentation, we will consider the history of GMO development, examine public opinion, investigate media representation, analyze scientific data, and with a well-supported conclusion. Our approach focuses on facts and critical thinking, not opinions or emotions. What are genetically modified foods by themselves? Genetically modified foods, or GMOs as everybody knows, are organisms whose genetic material has been altered using genetic engineering techniques. The goal is usually to improve yield, resistance to pests or nutrition content. GMOs have been used in agriculture for decades and are found in products like soy, corn, canola, and cotton. Unlike traditional breeding, genetic modification allows scientists to directly insert specific gene from one organism into another organism. This process can involve genes from bacteria, other plants, or even animals, resulting in traits that would be difficult to achieve naturally. Now I want to speak about some history of GMO development. The history says that GMOs dates back to the 1970s when scientists first developed recombination DNA techniques. The first GMO approved for consumption was the flower sour tomato in 1994, designed to delay spoilage. Since then, GMO crops such as Bt corn, insect-resistant, and Roundup-ready soybeans, herbicide-tolerant, have become widely used in global agriculture. Today, over 190 million hectares of GM crops are cultivated worldwide, not only US continents. They account for more than 90% of soybeans and cotton grown in the United States. Genetic modification continues to expand into new crops like apples, the resist browning, and rice, with higher vitamin content, especially vitamin A. Why do people believe that GMO are unsafe for human beings? Many people are concerned about GMOs due to fears of health risks like allergies, cancer, or even some long-term effects. These fears are often based on early studies with methodologies, flaws, or animal experiments that were later debunked. Another major concern is the role of large biotech companies like Monsanto, which some believes prioritize profit over safety. Cultural beliefs, naturalistic fallacies, and fear of unknown also played the role. Social media and sensationalist media coverage amplify these fears with misleading headlines and viral memes. Public opinion and some statistics. According to Pew Research Center in 2020, around 48% of US adults believe that GM foods are worse for health than the non-GM foods. In contrast, 88% of scientists from the American Association for the Advancement of Science say GMO are safe for human beings, and this shows a big gap between experts and public opinion. A similar trend is seen in Europe and parts of Asia. In France, more than 70% of people are skeptical about GMOs. In contrast, again, countries like Brazil and India have embraced GMOs for economic reasons, cultural, political, and media landscapes greatly affect how GMO are perceived. Regulation of GMOs worldwide. Different countries regulate GMOs in different ways. The United States, Canada, and Brazil have permissive policies with minimal labeling. The European Union enforces strict approval process and requires labeling of all GM products. In developing nations, regulations is evolving in India. GM cotton is common, but GM food crops face resistance. African countries vary, some, like South Africa, adopt GMOs while others ban them. This variation reflects differing views on health, trade, and national identity. Media coverage, local and international examples. We analyzed 5 main media sources worldwide. The Guardian, United Kingdom, published a balanced article presenting both risks and benefits of using GMO resources, like foods. Fox News from USA, a TV segment emphasized possible dangers without citing scientific sources. BBC, United Kingdom, a scientist was interviewed on the benefits of gene editing and regulation. And from our local sources, Uzreport, Uzbekistan, shared updates about GMO related imports and food labeling. And the 5th source today, Instagram post by wellness influencers. They spread misinformation linking GMO to chronic illnesses. These examples show a contrast between traditional media's attempt at balance and social media's tendency to favor emotion and fear. Who spreads misinformation and why? Misinformation is often spread by influencers seeking engagement, pseudoscientific websites selling their own natural products, and political appealing to fear and nationalism. Clickbait media that prioritize views over real facts. Misinformation spreads rapidly online due to algorithms that favor controversy. Studies show that fake news spreads faster than verified ones. Many people are unaware of how to verify information and fall victim to confirmation bias. Now I want to talk about some potential benefits of genetically modified foods or organic organs. GMOs can offer major benefits, including increased crop yields, reduced pesticide use, enhanced nutrition and food security in developing nations. Golden rice, for example, genetically modified to contain vitamin A, before as I said, is a famous example aimed at preventing blindness in children. GMO can also help reduce agricultural land use, protect biodiversity, and improve sustainability through more efficient farming. Criticism and ethical concerns. Critical argue that GMO promote corporate control of agriculture, limit farmers' seed rights, and reduce biodiversity. Ethical questions include whether it is right to alter the genetic structure of living organisms. And there is also concern about unknown long-term effects, even if current GMOs are safe. Some fear that future modifications might introduce problems if not properly regulated or tested.
Now we are moving to the second part. I'm gonna speak about what it has to do with the media literacy. Media literacy is a crucial in evaluating GMO-related content. Many headlines exaggerate findings or misrepresent studies. Media literacy involves checking the original source, understanding who funds the study, spotting logical fallacies, and also recognizing emotional manipulation. The second thing that I'm gonna speak is about scientific evidence. World Health Organization, WHO, concludes GM foods are safe under strict safety assessments. The second one is FDA has monitored GMOs since 1992 and affirms safety of current GMO products. The third one is National Academy of Science released a 400-page review of over 900 studies showing no health risk. The next one is Harvard University supports GMO's future food security and it secured under climate change. The last but not least is Nature Journal. Peer-reviewed meta-analysis found no link between GMOs and major illnesses. So the next thing is what makes the source credible. The first is peer-reviewed. The second is obviously produced by credible health and also science institutions. The third one is transparent about funding. And the last one is unbiased and up-to-date. Credibility in the digital age means traceability. Anyone can post online, but not all sources are equal. A journal like Nature or a WHO provides traceable evidence backed by data. The next thing is consumer choices and labeling. So GMO labeling gives consumers the ability to choose. In the US, since 2022, GMO containing foods must be labeled as bioenergized. In the EU and Japan, strict labeling is mandatory. Organizations like the non-GMO or the project provides certifications. Some people choose organic to avoid GMOs. Media literacy helps consumers evaluate labels and make informed choices rather than relying on fear-based messaging. The next thing that I'm gonna speak is about the future of GMO technology in our society. So the new gene editing tools like CRISPR allow scientists to make more and more precise edits than traditional GMOs. Future innovations include drought-tolerant crops, nitrogen-fixing cereals, and also disease-resistant bananas. Researchers are also working on lab-grown meat and algae-based foods. These innovations may address food security, also the climate change challenges if accepted by the public. The next one is everyone is interested. Are GM foods are safe? Based on our extensive research, we conclude that genetically modified foods, it's GMO, currently on the market are safe to eat. They have passed numerous safety assessments and also checkings to show no evidence of consuming harm. There was no evidence of consuming harm of GMO. That said, we support continuous testing, clear labeling, and also the public education. Transparency, regulation, and scientific innovation should go hand to hand. And to conclude, I want to say that safety of GM foods are scientifically issue, not a political one, but it's deeply affected by how media presents the information. Media literacy gives us the tools to separate fact from fiction. We hope our presentation helped you to better understand about the GMO product and think more critically about what you see online.
Additional insights, GMOs and climate change. Another critical reason why genetically modified organisms are important today in their potential role in addressing climate change. As global temperatures rise and weather becomes more extreme and agriculture faces serious challenges. Droughts, floods, and shifting seasons can devastate traditional crops. GMO technology allows scientists to create plants that are most resilient to these changing conditions. As example, drought-tolerant maize has already been introduced in sub-Saharan Africa, and heat-resistant wet varieties are also being developed. These innovations help ensure food security even in unstable climates. Moreover, GMOs can make farming more efficient. Pest-resistant crops reduce the needs for chemical pesticides, which can contribute to environmental degradation. By improving yields on the same amount of land, GMOs may also reduce deforestation caused by agriculture expansion, an important factor in reducing global carbon emissions. In this way, GMOs are not just about feeding people, but about doing so sustainably. If developed responsibly and used wisely, they can help build a more climate-resilient global food system.